first time I thought about it, I could formulate a thinking, and I can't remember right now. I thought that I would be a fighter, and not just a fighter. In my head, I would be a jiu-jitsu fighter, a no-rules fighter. I would be fighting vale tudo. That was, in my head, that was set, I believe, since 5 years old. My whole family were fighters. They have been developing their fighting style for nearly 100 years now. It started with my grandfather, Carlos Gracie, and his brother Helio. And my father continued this long tradition. He was the wild one of the family. I guess that's what I got it from. At 16, he fought his first no-rules fight against the Brazilian national capoeira champion. He choked him into submission in under 4 minutes. My father was a revolutionary during the military government in Brazil. And, he was in the fight against the government, trying to put the military government down.
In 1964, the Brazilian military seized power from the left-wing government of João Goulart and remained in control for 21 years. During their rule, Renzo's father, Robson Gracie, was one of 200 members of an underground resistance movement committed to overthrowing this military dictatorship. In the early 1970s, the entire group was rounded up by the military police, brutally tortured, and killed. Robson was the only one whose life was spared, as one of his jiu-jitsu students was a high-ranking member of the army who put pressure on the military police not to kill him. So after 3 months of torture, he was the only one set free.
My father never talked too much about that. Like, he never brought that up, and I never asked too much too. Only when I was 11 years old, I asked him. I said, "Dad," because I always try to learn through somebody else's experience. So I asked him, "How is torture? Do they really make you tell the truth, or can you put up with it?" My father said, "It's very difficult. It's very difficult to put up with. They do things that you can't imagine, and you end up telling the truth, you know." But he goes, but at the same time, he looked at me very seriously, and he goes, "But there's people who never folded, who it doesn't matter what kind of punishment they give to them, they won't tell what they need to know, and they get beat until they die." So I asked him, "Dad, did you watch this?" He goes, "No, but I could hear every day. They make sure that all of us hear everything that was happening, you know." And I was 11 years old when my father told me that. And I remember that I saw so much admiration in my father's eyes that my father never realized, but on that day, he made me one of those men, you know. I have my father in the highest place a man can have another, and I would die before I could disappoint a belief that he had. So he made me strong, and he made me believe that what you believe is more important than anything else, you know? It's more important than actually your life or everything that you have.